Hi everyone, welcome to Nana's Tiny Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorites, peppered steak. Now peppered steak it's really easy and I think you're gonna love this recipe. Let's get started. Okay, get your pen and paper because I'm gonna be measuring out all the ingredients and you can write them down as we go. In this pan right here I have some olive oil that I swirled around. And that's what I'm going to saute my onions and my peppers in. And since it's just Jeff and myself, I buy like when they have the buy one get one free steaks at the supermarket, you could either use a chuck steak or a top round steak. And what I do is I cut them in half and put them in the freezer. And when I want to use them for different things, I can make beef stew, I can make pepper steak, or I can just make a steak. In this case, I took one of the halves and I cut it all up, and this will be enough for 2 people. And it was about, the original size of the steak was probably about a little bit over a pound. So this is about half a pound, maybe a little bit more than half a pound. It'll be enough for the 2 of us. Okay, so I'm going to heat up this pan so we can get started on our onions and our peppers. And I cut up, I like to use the red peppers as well. You don't have to. You could use just the green peppers. But it's about half of a nice size pepper and half a medium size onion and about a medium clove of garlic that I have chopped up right here. And while this is heating up, we're going to start seasoning our meat. First off, I'll take a little bit of olive oil and give it a swirl. Not too much, just a little swirl. And then I'm going to add, I want to say, get my measurements correct here, about half a teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle it. Now you can always go more if it's not enough salt afterwards. And this one's one of my secrets. I love using balsamic vinegar for a lot of things. So I'm going to do about maybe a half a tablespoon. I've never measured out this recipe before. Yeah, it was about a little bit more than half a tablespoon. But it really does give the meat a nice flavor. And this is Worcestershire sauce. So we'll do a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire. And some soy sauce. About the same amount of soy sauce, about a 1/4 teaspoon. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients. Here's some onion powder. Just a couple of shakes of onion powder. Couple of shakes of garlic powder. And I'm going to add red chili flakes. You don't have to, but I kind of like things a little bit spicy. You could leave this out if you want. But I'm going to add a couple of shakes of red chili flakes. I'm going to grind a little black pepper. And now I'm going to add my flour. Well, first I'm going to give this a good mix so all the ingredients are evenly distributed. Oh, it smells fantastic. And now I'm going to add my flour. And it's probably, I want to say about 2 tablespoons, but I'm going to add a little bit at a time just to make sure that it's either not too, that it's not too much. Like I said, I never measured out this recipe before, but it always comes out really good. And we want to get all the meat covered. So it was probably about a tablespoon and a half of flour, I want to say. This is going to help when you fry the meat. It's going to help your gravy thicken up. Okay. See how it's nice and incorporated? All the meat is covered. Okay. I'm going to give my hands a rinse, and we're going to get the onions and the peppers started. Okay, there's a little swirls of olive oil in there. We'll get our onions and peppers going at the same time. And we add the garlic last because we don't want the garlic to burn. If the heat is too high and you put in chopped up garlic, it burns and it gets bitter, and we don't want that. Okay. And grab a spoon. Here we go around in circles. Now we want to saute these until the onions are translucent and the peppers soften up. And then we're going to add our meat. Okay, well this is going. We'll be right back. Okay, this is about ready for me to add the meat. And remember, when you're adding the flour, do a tablespoon, mix it up, and if it doesn't look like it's covering all, add a little bit more at a time. Like I said, it was probably about a tablespoon and a half, maybe a little bit more. But what we want to do now is add this to the peppers and the onions and get the meat nice and seared on both sides as best you can. It already smells amazing. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but I always like to cook with music in the background. It just makes me feel good. Okay, everybody's in. I'm going to give my hands a rinse. And see, I still didn't add my garlic yet. That'll be last. Just when the meat's just about done, then I'll put the garlic in. Because like I said before, I don't want the garlic to burn, but I do want that flavor in. In the background here, I have 2 cups of beef stock. You can use chicken stock, you can use vegetable stock, because with that, you're going to be seasoning your gravy anyway, but I like to use the beef stock. Okay, well this is frying up. We'll be right back. Okay, our meat has a nice sear on the top part of it, actually on both sides. So now we're going to add our garlic. Give that a little mix. Two cups of your beef stock. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I'm going to add let's do a ½ teaspoon of Worcestershire. Worcestershire and beef are best friends. Don't leave it out. Then I'm going to add in a bay leaf. You could, if you don't have a bay leaf, you don't have to use a bay leaf. I kind of like the flavor with the bay leaf. Some pepper. And salt to taste. If you're not sure about the salt, do like a ¼ teaspoon at a time. Let me grab a tasting spoon. Okay. If you want to make sure that your gravy is seasoned appropriately. So how do you know that? Your taste. Take a little spoon. Wow, that's really good. Nice flavors in there. Okay, now that I got all my ingredients in there, I'm going to cover this, put it on low, and it's going to simmer on low for about an hour. And then we'll show you how it looks. Okay, everyone, this has probably been going for about, I want to say 40-45 minutes. So I'm just going to uncover it just to check things out and give it a taste and make sure that all my spices and, you know, salt and whatever is just the way I want it. Okay, let's give it a stir. Looks beautiful. When I started doing these videos, I never realized how hard this is. It's like, oh my God. You're like talking, when you're doing them, it's like you're talking to yourself. Okay, let's give it a taste. Delicious. Perfect. Doesn't need any more salt. Everything's good. Okay. This you can serve with your favorite either egg noodle, like the Pennsylvania Dutch, the buttered noodles, or the no yolks, or you can do white rice. Sometimes what I like to do is make a nice creamy mashed potato with a little bit of garlic in the mashed potato, and I make like a circle, and in the middle of that circle I make a hole, and that's where I put this, you know, the pepper steak right in the middle. Oh, it's so good. And then toast up some garlic bread on the side. But it's entirely up to you. But there you have it. Bon appetit. Let me know if you like the recipe. Shoot me any notes, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer anything. Till next time, bye now.